Okay, peptides are everywhere, and I have so many women asking me, what are you doing? What peptides are you using? You've changed, your skin looks better, you're leaner, it's just you have more energy. So, I'm going to share some of the peptides that I have been using and just some of my favorite stacks that for women over 40. If you're a female in your fifth or sixth decade of life, like myself, I have found that these have worked amazing. So once again, this is not medical advice. I am a practitioner, I'm a doctor, but I'm not your doctor. So you need to consult with your own physician and someone that's qualified to work with you when it comes to peptides. All right, so let's start with number one. Number one, most women, once they hit that fourth decade of life, they have a lot of issues with losing weight. Not particular just weight, but fat. They start noticing thickening in their waist. It's just like they're softer, they're not as lean as they used to be. They're still training hard and they're not getting the same results. So what I started with is tirzepatide and the GLP-2. So I have found that that really helped a lot with the food noise for myself, because ever since I was a little girl, I was always watching what I was eating. I would see how many calories. I mean, if you remember, you were to get the low protein bars, you'd eat trail mix, you'd be vegan, and none of that really worked. That really actually set me back. So I started using tirzepatide, got great results with it, started to see really some big changes in the body. So that was one of them that I did start with. So there was no more food noise. I still wanted to eat. I just didn't, I wasn't craving any sweets. So that's a big thing for me. I love sweets, and especially after meals. And not only that, what I kept seeing in my labs, it's just like as hard as I work, my hemoglobin A1C was going up, my glucose, my fasting glucose level was going up, and I'm like, I was getting to the point of being a diabetic, and it's just like I don't even eat sugar. So I'm like, no, something's got to change here. So I started on tirzepatide. Then I moved into Retta, tiny doses, because I do not want to lose weight. I want to hold on to as much muscle, but also for the inflammatory benefits, for the neurocognitive benefits, and also just that deep visceral fat. So that's one of them. Then I started adding some growth hormone secretagogues. Now, growth hormones actually help. You're not taking growth hormones, it's actually stimulating the pituitary gland to make growth hormones. So, and it'll pulse it. It's highest at nighttime when you're sleeping. And so one of them that I started to use at first was the CJC and the ipamorelin, CJC 1295 ipamorelin. And I found that I was stronger. I was working, my workouts were just more, I felt like I was just dialed in. I felt like a kid again. So I really like that a lot. So I did start with that. Right now I'm actually using tesamorelin, also known as Tessa, combined with ipamorelin. And what that has helped with a lot is seriously with that belly fat, especially after having 3 kids. As much as I worked on my diet, as much as I worked on doing abs, they always say abs are not made in the gym, but in the kitchen. I mean, I did all that stuff. And I was just like, gosh, as much as I train, I should be seeing better results. So I actually stacked them. So what it means by stacking something, it means you're combining 2 peptides. So there's the IPA and Tessa for growth hormone. So the first one was growth hormone secretagogues. The first one was like for the food noise, for the belly fat, the sugar cravings, blood sugar. Second one is the growth hormone secretagogues. Okay, so number 3, I like what's called the glow stack. The glow stack means, once again, when there's a stack, there's several peptides in there. So the glow stack is basically the Wolverine Stack plus copper. So the stacks work like this. You have BPC-157, so that's for muscle and ligamentous injuries, for gut health, so that works really, really great. Then when you add TB-500, it's considered the Wolverine Stack, which also, it's like that dynamic duo that really helps solidify systemic and very localized repair. And then when you add the copper in there, you're actually helping with collagen and production, growth, and really collagen is the glue that just kind of holds those structures together. So also great for the skin, hair, and nails. The women that have taken like collagen peptides, I mean, this is like that on steroids. So you are going to have a systemic effect. Your skin looks better, your hair looks better, nails, just everything looks so much better. So that's the Glow Stack. So that's something that I have added on. And those are basically the ones that I feel a lot of women do really well with. And if the energy is low, I was also taking something called MOTC, which is for mitochondria for energy. And remember, mitochondria are the little, we say the little cell energy batteries of all the cells in your body. And if those aren't working properly, it's going to be hard for you to have, lots of energy, feel excited about, just doing a workout, just living your daily life. And so the mitochondria, the MOTC impacts a lot with mitochondria, therefore it's going to impact energy. So that was another one that I will add in there. I don't like to inject a lot because these are all injectables. And the beauty about it is Retta is once a week, Tessa and IPA, they're combined, so that's a second one, but that's pretty much daily. It just depends on the person. And number 3 is, when you do the Glow, you have all 3 in one. So that's what I've seen works for women. A lot of women have immune issues, so there's a couple other ones that, I'll talk in another video that work really well for immune system. However, I always say you have to work with the practitioner because sometimes you will get a histamine response with some of these peptides, and you just have to be really careful. And of course, I always say quality matters, and we're talking about research peptides only, so I'm not going to tell you that all these are FDA approved. Only a handful of them are FDA approved. So I just wanted to give you the information, telling you what we're seeing, what I've seen, talking to a lot of women, working with women, and then just personally, I don't really like to share things unless I have personally worked with them. So there you go. Those are my favorite stacks, what I have seen that works phenomenal for women. And I just say, if you've been doing all the work and you're just not seeing the results, you've got to eat we say the clean diet, get your protein dialed in, get your sleep dialed in, make sure that you're moving, you're lifting heavy stuff. You've got to you have to do resistance training. That's like a non-negotiable. Have your stress under control. It's just like do things outdoors, go for walks, do breath work, do yoga, do Pilates. Those are some of the things. And of course, you have to have your community. You have to have your women. You got to have your tribe to kind of climb, I would say, help you climb off of the ledge, because we do get hormonal, especially as our hormones do change, especially in our 40s, 50s, and beyond. There are some hormonal changes, but before you do any of these, I always say that in addition to working with a practitioner that's qualified, is you have to make sure that you know what your hormone status is as far as your thyroid, your estrogen, your progesterone, and your testosterone and cortisol. Otherwise, a lot of what I just talked about really is not going to help you in any way. So there you go. Those are the the peptides, my favorite peptides for women, and what I've seen works phenomenal, and some of my faves.